Please. Enjoy your time here.
I keep thinking I should run the course someday, but never shades of our death. Have some of that death. Why not make it regret it?
So you drag me all the way onto Red Mall? And what the hell is all this junk, Magnus?
Chunks. A full assortment, fresh from the factory, nothing but the best.
So you want Ecliptic to pick up the tab on, how many is it? 16, 17, 18 boxes of food?
No, this ain't food, man. This is survival. For deep space hops, this stuff never goes bad, and it's cheap.
At first I thought you were kidding, then I thought, nah, he's just taking the joke too far. Now I just think you're out of your damn mind.
Look, how about you buy half the shipment, try it out, pass it around, the stuff will catch on fast. Ecliptic will love it. Trust me.
How about you run back to the key and tell Delgado he can blow this food out of his airlock? We aren't buying.
Okay. 3 boxes. Heck, I'll throw in the 4th for free. Huh? You can't beat that deal, right?
Fine. If it'll shut you the hell up, load the 4 boxes on my rig and let me get out of here.
Pleasure doing business with you, Toombs.
I keep thinking the next time I'll live up to the legacy.
All hell's breaking loose, Rook. Delgado needs you in the repair bay with Jazz as soon as possible. Oh, it's bad. Real bad. Delgado will fill you in with the details. Now get your ass to the repair bay. Go!
I hope Bug has something strong enough to knock me out.
And you are sure we will have those defense batteries up and running?
No. I'm not sure. They're in bad shape, Del. Really bad shape. I'm already using duct tape and spit to keep the station from falling apart, and you want me to pull a rabbit out of my hat?
I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear that it's going to be fixed. Period. Get it done.
All right. I'm on it.
You want to quit standing there and hand over the conduction grid data?
Perfect. I'll take that.
Dependable as always. unlike some people we know.
Oh, that's real funny.
All right, listen up because I don't want to repeat this twice. We've gotten word that UC Systef is massing somewhere nearby for an attack on the key. While we prepare for their arrival, I want you to head straight for Bannock 4 and bring Crix's legacy home. Lay it out, Jess.
All right, first things first. I'm gonna upload this data you snagged from Generdyne into the Key's databanks. All you need to do is build and then install a conduction grid module onto your ship. Oh, and if you haven't already, you'll need the comm spike module installed as well.
Once your ship is ready, jump out to Bannock 4, board the legacy, and bring us the cash. Of course there's a catch. What, you thought this would be easy?
After you board the Legacy, be on the lookout for 2 transfer modules. They're special keys that allow access to the ship's vault. Once you locate the vault's control center, hook up the data core I'm gonna give you, and download everything they've got.
And before you get any bright ideas, like running off with the money, that currency is going to be heavily encrypted. Only a genius like Shinya will be able to crack that encryption. So bring it back here right away. Are you kidding? Everyone around here is a traitor. Look, I'm gonna make this real simple for you. If that money ends up anywhere but the key, I will hunt you down and pry it out of your dead hands myself. Now get moving. The toughest nut to crack is if UC Systef brings in the Vigilance. That Commander Ikande has himself a hell of a ship there. Advanced shield tech, bristling with weapons. I would love to see that thing burn. If we hope to stand a chance against it, we need those defensive batteries and Crix's legacy. You've met some of them already. Mathis Castillo, Yevgeny Rokov, Juan Dayu, Estelle Vincent, and Adler Kemp. They might feel like independents to you, but each one of them has a stake in the Crimson Fleet, and each one of them wants a cut of the wealth. I am sending word out to every able-bodied captain that they are needed. We'll see how many answer the call. The Crimson Fleet isn't really a fleet. It's an ideal, a principle that Crix sought to set up so that pirates didn't infight over scraps. Over time, that notion has been lost. Captains have been turning their backs on the fleet, doing jobs on the side, killing each other. Bringing Crix's legacy back to the fleet would be like validating everything Jasper Crix believed in. And I'm certain it would unify us once again. Of course, it wouldn't exactly hurt to have all that extra money at our disposal. But I think you catch my meaning. Now get your ass to Bannock 4.
I always thought heat leeches were just pests. Never considered trying to raise one as a pet.
I need to get those defensive batteries online, so make this fast. The comm spike traces and decrypts coded signals. As long as you have the transponder ID, you can track pretty much anything. That file you lifted from the Galbank archives contained the Legacy's transponder code, which I'll program into your nav system. All you have to do is get within the vicinity of Bannock 4, and the comm spike will automatically point you to the target. Cute toy, huh? Well, you already know that the conduction grid does a pretty nifty trick. It absorbs extreme voltage and converts it to usable power on Neon. The version for your ship can still absorb incoming electrical energy, like, say, the EM field surrounding Bannock 4, but it can't store the power. Instead, it just scatters the EM harmlessly away from the hull, insulating you from frying every circuit aboard. As a nice side effect, I'm betting the module will make your ship somewhat EM weapon resistant and boost its shield regen. Lucky you. There are 3 defensive batteries, basically high-powered military space turrets, triangulated around the key. They were part of the UC's original defenses for the station. Pretty effective, too. Can put some serious hurt on enemy spacecraft. The good news is that the batteries have an incredibly wide field of coverage, so they can pick off ships trying to reach the key from any vector. The bad news is that they're 100-year-old tech. They keep breaking down and are expensive as hell to keep operational. Not a problem. Conduction grid data is all set up in the system, so it should be an easy install. All right, let's see what you need.
Excuse me.
All support ships have arrived, Commander.
Fools when we take the
Good.
legacy from under their
After we're done
noses.
here, arrange it briefly. I want all of their CEOs over here as soon as possible.
I mean, there is some truth.
Yes, sir.
Killing's not their main motive.
Well, yeah, they aren't spacers or House of Baron, but they'll do whatever it takes to get your credit.
I guess now's not the time.
There you are. Where have you been? I've received the reports about that stunt you pulled inside of Genadine. Opening fire inside a civilian facility. Are you out of your mind?
Generdyne is furious at us right now. They want Commander Ikonde to resign.
Fortunately, provided just enough information for me to convince the Council that this program should continue. There are people that will handle Jenadine's lawyers, so we can continue our jobs bringing down the Crimson Fleet. That doesn't diminish the gravity of the mistake you've made. You search for more options, and when those fail, you search for even more. Anything that prevents you from drawing that weapon. The only reason you should be opening fire on anyone is in the defense of your own life. I should make you say that to the families of the innocents you murdered. People have died because you were too stubborn to find a safer solution. This is not how you see SysDef operates. I don't care if we're one step away from Crix's legacy. If you do it again, you're off this operation, and I'll have Top throw you in the brig.
It'll be my pleasure, sir.
All right. I think we're all in agreement here. So let's get back to the operation at hand. It's time to put all the cards on the table and prepare to attack the key. Good. The more confusion and panic we cause, the more damage we can potentially inflict. Before you jump to Bannock 4, I need to make one thing abundantly clear. The credits from that Galbank transport cannot reach the fleet. You have to bring them here at all costs. If Delgado gains access to those resources, we might be touching off a battle we can't possibly win.
We've been monitoring the Crimson Fleet's comm chatter in the Crix system. They're gathering allies by making promises based on your success.
As much as I hate to admit it, UC SysDef won't stand a chance. The fleet will become stronger and more unified than ever. You're not doing it for me. You're doing it for the security of the settled systems. All right, I guess this is it. Do whatever prep you need to do aboard the Vigilance, and then head out to Bannock 4. When you return here with Crix's legacy, we'll begin the attack. Good luck.
It wasn't an ambush, it was an accident. We jumped to the same place at the same
During the end of the Narian War,
Pretty much.
the money was destined to bolster the Freestar Collective's coffers. Even though we were rivals at the time, and I suppose we still are to some extent, the credits still rightfully belong to their people. After the money is turned over to Master, I'm certain arrangements will be made to return the money to the proper authorities in Aquila City.
hit whatever targets in front of them.
The evidence you've been bringing to Lieutenant Toft has been instrumental in convincing the brass at Mast to greenlight the attack. They've sent us support ships, extra troops, weapons, all on account of your role in the operation. To put it simply, if it wasn't for you, this operation would be at a standstill. It's time to dig deep and get the job done.
You doing all right? Feels
Looking
like
for
we
some
got maybe
last-minute
one
advice?
more calm before the storm.
Even as long ago as the Narian War, Galbank used an extremely potent level of encryption on their currency. Unfortunately, the Unluck ciphers are lost to time. However, if you can bring us one of Galbank's old transfer modules, I know it would help. Don't worry, I'm sure some of the techs at Mast will be able to work with whatever you bring to reverse the encryption. Anything you can tell us would be helpful. Damn it. I was afraid of that. I'll warn our ships to use looser formations. Hopefully Durand isn't as clever as she thinks she is, or you can help us take the batteries down when the attack begins. Was that all? Yeah, I heard they even sent word to some of the contacts you met. They're writing an awful lot of checks they can't cover without Crix's legacy, but we'll be ready for them. Anything else? Okay, well, if anything else springs to mind before you leave, please let me know. Good. The more you find, the stronger our case. Perfect. Taking her out of the running is going to seriously damage the Crimson Fleet's hold on Neon. Even better, that's one less fleet captain and one less ship to worry about. Have any more? Benjamin Bayou, pride of the Freestar Collective. The authorities there have been trying to nail him for a long time. Bringing us proof that he's been manipulating Jenardine from the shadows is pretty tasty stuff. The FC will pay dearly for this. Good job. Anything else? Perfect. Komiko's wanted for corporate violations in UC territory, but having concrete evidence means we extradite her and nail her to the wall. I'm sure we can arrange a prisoner trade with the Freestar Collective. Make it beneficial for both interested parties. Any other fragments? A hot tip, huh? What kind of idiot would dig in their heels waiting for a massive payout on some of the cheapest food in the settled systems? I've seen some strange things on this assignment, but this definitely tops the list. I'll, pass it on to my superiors. I'm sure they'll get right on it. That it? Good. When SysDef stumbled across the wreckage of the ship, we were sure it was the Crimson Fleet, but we could never prove it. We found 32 dead colonists in that wreckage. Poor crew must have put up a hell of a fight. At least their families will now have some closure. Any other fragments? The fleet's planning a raid on Hopetown? Okay. I didn't expect them to be so bold, but I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures. Don't worry. I'll circulate the description of this captain to the authorities on Hopetown and make sure they never set foot in that settlement. Any other fragments? I have to hand it to Neva Mora. The lady's thorough. That facility on Crete still holds a good bit of valuable resources and equipment. All right, can't do much with this one except pass it over to the military. Hopefully they stop denying the base's existence and do something about it. That it? Okay, fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it. See you soon.
Yes? What?
Need anything before you head to Bannock? I suppose. Though the commander won't be thrilled that I told you, so keep it to yourself. So, when I was running with the Crimson Fleet, I put together a hell of a crew. 6 of the toughest pirates I could find. On the record, it's against regulations. My personnel profile is private, and you need the proper authorization to access the file. Off the record, Commander Akande isn't exactly popular at Mast for the way he runs his operation, so he likes to keep these things quiet. The fact that an ex-pirate is second in command to SysDef's pride and joy wouldn't inspire waves of confidence from his superiors. But even though my share of the salvage was smaller, I had one of the most efficient ships in the fleet. More efficient ship meant more lucrative jobs. I was trying to be smart and play the long game. My first mate was Arya Fikes, the toughest of the bunch. The only problem was that she had a hell of a temper. The smallest things could just set her off, and believe me, she took a while to cool down. Well, the positives outweighed the negatives, at first. Anyway, there was this one particular incident where we had a hot tip on a freighter supposedly running heavy with ore. The second we dropped out of grav space, we knew it was a trap. We'd been set up, and the UC was waiting for us. Somehow we managed to take out all of their attack ships. I grabbed Arya and we boarded the freighter. Well, it showed up on Chinya Voss's mission board, which means it could have come from anywhere. I don't know what he's like now, but back then, all of his missions were pretty solid leads with good pay. It wasn't brave. It was arrogant. We fought our way to the bridge and the crew surrendered. That's when the Vigilance arrived. I watched it vaporize my ship and crew in seconds. Commander Akande radioed over for us to give up, turn ourselves in. Arya went wild. Said she'd start executing crew if they didn't let us leave. The commander tried to talk some sense into her, but she was too far gone. I knew right then she'd rather die than surrender. None at all. We were marooned on that freighter. No ship, no escape shuttles, and no chance of rescue. Even as a pirate, I had my limits. I'd never shoot someone that was unarmed and couldn't fight back. As long as they surrendered and gave up the goods, there was no need for them to die. You can't even imagine. Commander Akande promised to be lenient if we let the crew go. When we didn't reply, he sent over a ship to board us. I saw Arya put her gun to one of the hostages' heads, and saw that look in her eye. I could actually see her squeezing the trigger. Next thing I knew, a shot rang out. I'll never forget that look on Arya's face as she fell to the ground with the wound in her chest. Looked down at the gun in my hand like it belonged to someone else. I still don't know why I did it. That's what I keep telling myself. I hope to God we're both right. Long story short, I spent a year in jail, then Keepway recruited me. I guess he saw something in me, a desire to turn my life around. I busted my ass to get where I am today. First mate of the Vigilance. Ironic I'd end up in Arya's position, don't you think? It took a while, and a lot of reflection, but I know we made the right choice. Had I continued down the road I was traveling back then, we wouldn't be speaking right now. I owe everything to Commander Akande for giving me a second chance. According to my superiors at MAST, we've provided them enough data to wrap up this portion of the operation and call it a success. You've brought us a mountain of evidence against the Crimson Fleet and uncovered some unexpected criminal activity. You've done a hell of a job. Oh? Well, I see we've rubbed off on you more than I expected. Anyway, here. I wanted to give you this. It isn't from Commander Akande or the UC. It's from me. It was my sidearm when I ran with the Crimson Fleet. Something special I paid a hell of a lot of money for. Now it's yours. Not true. You gave me hope. That's the best present I could ever ask for. All right, enough of this mushy nonsense. Time to get back to work.
Sys-Def Marines are the best of the best.
Mole.
Lost a bet to one of the officers. We got mob duty now on my birthday. It's gonna suck.
Yes?
I don't know about you. People who work undercover, they're sneaky by nature. Hard to read. When I fly, I want someone beside me who I can predict. Boxes by the Marquess of Queensbury rules. But you're a southpaw. A wild card. That isn't it. We've got plenty of green pilots picked right from the academy. But yours happen to come from a different farm. Vanguard. But if Commander Ikande says you're Sys-Def, then you are one of us. For now. You guessed it. In fact, I'd say you've got what linguistic experts call FOGO, a firm grasp of the obvious. But I'm not just any pilot. I'm the best. And I've got the kills to prove it. You got some set of manners, kid. The fleet are gonna eat you up. Long story. I got my start in the academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting Lloyden's Rock. Me and 3 other Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with SysDef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is. Yeah, it was. And you can probably guess what project it was for. I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not. Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail? Compared to that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake. Yeah, I thought you might. I heard the fleet sent you up there for some more pirate work. Even more impressive, you managed to do it without taking any lives. Maybe I misjudged you. That's more than I can say for myself, given the history of Project Archangel. We were testing prototype fighter ships. Experimental engines, weaponry, the works. The 4 of us were the best of the best. Emphasis on the were. I was one of 4 pilots recruited for the program. My codename was Azrael. At the time, I embraced the name. The Angel of Death hunting Crimson Fleet pirates in a prototype ship. But even for an angel, pride always comes before the fall. The official word is I was transferred back to SysDef because the need was great. The reality is I was kicked off the unit. I was so bored on that station, I spent all my time in the barracks drinking cases of smuggled booze. When the time came for my test flight, I was so wasted, one of the others had to cover for me. The engine caught fire right after takeoff. Pilot, crew, gone in a flash. No, they were just doing their job. The only one who wasn't pulling their weight was me. People tell me all the time it's not my fault. But fault's got nothing to do with it. I should be a dead man. Instead, some other pilot took my place.
Orders came down. Some new science division policy. Everyone on board's to look out for heat leeches. Consider yourself informed.
Well, this is a surprise. I have to say I did not see this coming. And I pride myself on being able to spot a liar. You make it sound like I'm guilty of a crime. I've always been careful when it comes to my business. So don't be surprised when your case falls apart. Oh, but it is. I imagine, evidence aside, it's your testimony that will have the most weight. Look, I don't know if you're here to get a rise out of me, but it won't work. I'll tell you the same thing I told your commander. I'm innocent, and I welcome the opportunity to prove it. No, you did yourself a favor. I just happened to be in your way. But there's still time for you to change your mind. The score the fleet's aiming for will be foolish to pass up. Thanks to you, probably in some interrogation room back on New Atlantis. But they've been with me from the beginning. Good luck getting any of them to talk. The New Atlantis spaceport. The Swan was surrounded the moment we touched down. Given all the heat around SY-920, I thought it best to land under an alias, but SysDef was already wise to the name change. SysDef really doesn't suit you.
There you are. I was wondering when you'd visit. Should give us a little time to catch up. Oh, no sarcasm here. There's simply no reason to rant about what's happened. Thanks to my own stupidity, my second chance to return to the Crimson Fleet is long gone. And by the time I get out of prison, any hopes I had to return to that life will have fully disappeared. Yes, well, apparently that's off the table as well. Trident tends to shy away from rehiring convicted felons. Well, anyway, glad you popped by to say hello. Now, if you wouldn't mind letting an old man get his rest, I'd appreciate it. Oh yes, quite aggressively. The illegal team will very likely grind me into the dirt, and there isn't much I can do about it. The amusing thing is, I don't even think they care very much that the heist went down on their ship. That's a given risk for them. I think they're more embarrassed I was able to gain the position as captain of the Siren under false pretenses in the first place. After getting set up on the Key, I traveled to a few settlements to find a base of operations. I was looking for a place that would allow me to pick up information about juicy shipments for the fleet to jump on. When I stopped at Gagarin, Steph was on the ground waiting for me instead of that contact I was expecting to meet. Your friend Toft really pulled the wool over my eyes. I wouldn't mind a visit from time to time.
Salutations. I assume you're here to commemorate my terrible misfortune? Ah, yes, the infamous evidence that you procured. Bravo, detective. Allow me to congratulate you on your sleuthing skills. That recording was quite a find. I must admit that I was short-sighted when it came to Ms. Swift's ingenuity. I shall not make that same mistake twice. I had assumed you would say that very statement. How predictable. I'm almost disappointed. Well, as much as I detest being the bearer of bad news, I have to disclose that you're wasting your time. You see, this imprisonment is merely an insignificant hindrance. I don't foresee being incarcerated in perpetuity. In fact, I would wager that my legal team will have my release expedited within the month. Indeed. Due to your actions, my tenure with Galbank has been terminated, and several million credits in fines are being levied against me. The day is yours, Agent. You should be proud. Oh, yes. Forgive my indiscretion. I should have realized this was a demonstration of duty and honor. Nevertheless, my congratulations still stand. Well, enough idle banter. I've taken up more than my share of your valuable time. Honestly, this interaction has been quite pleasurable. Do feel free to stop by and gloat at any time. Good day.
Does it take to screw a light bulb?
No idea. 100?
One. It only takes one pirate
Shipment repairs complete. Fire!
Weapons are up and running.
Warning, an emergency lockdown has been attacked. Warning, vault access requires an authorized transfer module. Vault access approved. Please stand clear of the door.
External communication detected. Automated recording system activated.
Legacy, come in. This is Issa Melant. Are you there, Legacy?
Holy shit. Issa, is that you? Issa, I'm here. Yes, I can read you.
Jasper Creeks. You're still alive? You always were one tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm alive. No thanks to you. A month? Really? You left me to sit here and panic for a month. We said you'd wait a week, tops.
Wait a moment. I think broadcasting from outside the EM field is interfering with my comms. Did I just hear Jasper Creeks the Great admit that he was panicking about something?
Yeah. How about we cut the crap and you get my ass out of here? Come on, there has to be millions of credits here. We're rich.
You know what? I think I'm going to pass. Right before you left, remember how you temporarily placed me in charge of the fleet? Well, right then I decided to make the job permanent. All I had to do was make some alterations to your sheeting plans. Mainly the footnotes where the lead technician mentions it needs more work. I even paid a tech to ensure a few of your ship's power connections were dodgy, just in case. Yet, look at you now. Frankly, I'm surprised those shields held long enough for you to make it through the storm.
What the hell? You can't do this to me. I'm in charge of the fleet. How dare you?
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, see, I thought I was clear. I'm in charge. You're dead. Well, I won't tell everyone that. I'll spin some story about you running off into the sunset with loot in hand. Oh, very romantic. The fleet will eat it up.
You don't care about the credits? Isn't that what this is all about? Fleet is family, remember? If we can't depend on each other, then what the fuck is the point?
You idiot. Don't you get it? Boarding the Legacy is a one-way journey. The technology simply doesn't exist to pull off your stupid eyes. And don't quote me the fleet's motto. I listened to that bullshit for years while you made deals and cut me out of them. You call that family? You know what? I'm glad you're alive. It's given me a chance to say goodbye. So, goodbye? There. All done.
Issa? Issa? Are you still there? Answer me.
Crew recording terminated. Crew recording initiated.
Well now, let's see. Another day's gone by. What's it been now? 6 weeks? Who the hell knows? Food packs for my ship are gone, so it looks like the clock's running down for me, and Issa wins. What a clever woman. I never saw it coming. I mean, I can't blame her. I was stupid enough to hand her the opportunity. Now the fleet's resting on her shoulders. I only hope she doesn't run the whole operation right into the ground. Anyway, let me just sit down in this chair. Yeah. There we go. Best view in the house. All that money staring me right in the face, and it's completely worthless. This is a nightmare. Worst kind of prison imaginable. I'd trade every last credit of it away to be back in New Atlantis, running with the Scar. Start my life over again. But enough dreaming. I've got to face the inevitable. This is where I'm spending my final days. Hopefully, Someone with at least half a brain will follow in my footsteps and bring the score home to the Crimson Fleet. If anyone finds this message, tell Issa that I don't blame her for what she's done. Most important, tell her to keep the fleet strong.
Crew recording terminated. Crew recording initiated.
Son of a bitch! Nothing. Complete waste of time. I've tried everything I can possibly think of, and I end up right where I started. Oh, here I thought I was so clever. Thought I had it all figured out. First, fix my ship and get the prototype shielding back online. Second, shunt the power from the cred tank array back to the system to drain the credits. And then third, haul ass back to my ship before the EM field rips apart the legacy. 3 easy steps, right? Only problem is, I'm stuck at step 1. Every system on my ship is dead, and there's nothing aboard this ship to use for repairs. I can't believe I came all this way, just to end up stuck here like the poor bastards who ran this ship. Actually, wait a second. Issa will figure it out. I told her where I was going for a reason. She's smart. She'll know something's up when I miss the rendezvous. After all, we're supposed to split the loot. All I have to do is sit tight and wait until she figures out that something's gone wrong. Then she'll come here looking for me. In the meantime, I should start rationing my food. I could be waiting for a while.
Crew recording terminated.